Some evidence is never meant to be seen, locked away, buried, forgotten. But one night, a CCTV camera in an empty office building captured something no one could explain. The security company tried to erase it, blaming glitches and power surges, but the footage survived. What it shows is raw, chilling, and impossible to forget. This is not a story. It's a warning. The building had no dark history, no reason for what happened. Yet the cameras recorded a presence moving with purpose through deserted halls. The security team who saw it refused to work nights now. They witnessed a phantom, a man who wasn't there, captured by a digital eye. We're breaking down the footage, moment by moment, to understand the timeline of this haunting. Each anomaly is a piece of a puzzle with no solution. Prepare yourself. This is an electronic haunting, a digital footprint left by something that should not exist. The last CCTV frame is more than evidence. It's a glimpse into the unknown. What you're about to see will stay with you long after the screen goes dark. This is the story of the forbidden tape. By day, the building buzzed with life. By night, it became a sealed tomb, silent, sterile, and impenetrable. The cleaning crew left by 10. Security checks were done by 11. Every door locked, every window sealed. The only movement dust in the glow of exit signs and the unblinking red lights of the cameras. The building was a perfect stage for the impossible. No drafts, no animals, no faulty wiring. The emptiness was absolute, a controlled environment waiting for something to break the silence. The cameras recorded nothing but stillness, until that night. This sterile setting is crucial. Every variable accounted for, every explanation ruled out. What happened next could not be dismissed. The concrete and glass were about to record a memory, a digital scar proving even the most modern places can hold ancient fears. The silence was the canvas, the entity, the artist. The haunting was about to begin. At 2:17 a.m., the first anomaly. The elevator call button lit up in an empty lobby. The camera showed no one, no shadow, no reflection. The elevator doors opened, waited, then closed, as if for an invisible passenger. The car ascended to the 12th floor, stopping at the top. Security confirmed. This couldn't happen without a physical button press or key card. The guard replayed the footage, searching for answers. There were none. The elevator doors opened onto an empty hallway, then returned to the ground floor. It was as if a ghost had arrived, using the building's own technology. This was the first impossible event of the night. The entity had entered, unseen but recorded. The building was no longer empty. It was charged with a presence. The digital eyes had become a window into another dimension. The haunting was underway, and the evidence was undeniable. The night's silence was broken by the arrival of something that should not exist. The ghost was in the machine. In the basement security room, Dave watched the monitors, fear growing. After the elevator event, strange things began. A shadow flickered in the 12th floor hallway. A microwave door swung open. Papers fell as if brushed by invisible hands. Small, impossible events, each one recorded, each one chilling. Then, on the boardroom camera, a dark, human-shaped mass appeared at the head of the table. It was featureless, a void in the shape of a man, staring directly at the camera. Dave froze, breathless, as the figure stood motionless, then dissolved like smoke. He called his supervisor, voice trembling. 20 years of experience couldn't explain what he saw. This was no glitch. This was real. The entity was aware of the cameras, and of him. The sense of being watched was overwhelming. The haunting was no longer just on tape. It was personal. The watcher in the dark had made itself known, and it wasn't finished. At 3:33 a.m., every camera glitched. Static, distortion, white noise. For 3 seconds, the building's surveillance went blind. When the feeds returned, one camera, the lobby, was frozen on a single terrifying frame. The image, a figure pressed against the lens, its form a swirling mass of static and shadow. No face, just a presence, Impossible, electric, overwhelming. The camera's internal components were fried, the image burned into the monitor. This was the last CCTV frame. A being not of flesh, but of energy, captured for a fraction of a second. The entity had overloaded the system by its very nature. The camera recorded its own death, and the face of its killer. The evidence was undeniable, the image unforgettable. The haunting had left its mark, not just on the building, but on the technology itself. The digital world had collided with something beyond understanding. The final frame was a portrait of the impossible. And it was all caught on tape. Morning brought confusion and fear. Technicians reviewed the footage, elevator moving on its own, objects disturbed, the shadow in the boardroom, and the final frozen frame. No signs of entry, no physical evidence, just a corrupted video file. The company tried to bury the story, blaming a power surge, replacing the camera, and telling employees it was an electrical issue. But copies of the footage spread, whispered among guards and urban explorers. The legend of the last CCTV frame was born. The original hard drive was locked away, a forbidden object. Dave quit, haunted by the image of that static-filled face. The building returned to normal, but the memory lingered, a digital scream trapped in a vault. The ghost left no fingerprints, only a silent echo in the minds of those who saw the evidence. The haunting was over, but its mark remained. The footage could not be erased. The story was out. Years later, the building stands, busy, modern, and seemingly normal. Workers pass through unaware, sharing space with a memory. The footage remains, a digital ghost that cannot be deleted. The questions linger. What was the entity? Why did it come? Was it just passing through or searching for something? Its intelligence was the most frightening part. It used the elevator, watched the cameras, and left a message in its final act. The final frame is a warning. Some things in the darkness are beyond our understanding. Energy never dies. It only changes form. The entity's last image was by the front door. Was it leaving or showing it could go anywhere? The story ends, but the haunting doesn't. If it was there once, could it still be watching now, or is it watching you?